CNN gave Donald Trump a public platform and an audience full of adoring fans and let him go off. So, what did he say? What do you mean, what did he say? He said the exact same garbage he always says, verbatim. Stolen election, witch hunt, big league, covfefe, women are evil, it's all in there. The Donald was a little salty after losing his case to E. Jean Carroll this week, so naturally he lashed out at the nearest female.
It's very simple. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
Way to hashtag be best, Donald. George Santos has been charged with 13 counts, including wire fraud, money laundering, and lying under oath. But according to his website, Santos couldn't have done those things because he's been too busy curing cancer, winning all of the Olympics, and fighting for freedom in Ukraine. Reached for comment, Kevin McCarthy took a big ol' swig from a flask he keeps in his desk. Tucker Carlson's next big idea is to take his show to Twitter. Twitter, the company that fired everybody and whose entire infrastructure is hanging by a thread. Dude, you'd be better off airing your show on Quibi. But he's also apparently ready to spill the tea about Fox News. The Hamptons haircut himself says he knows where the bodies are buried and he's ready to draw us a map. Is Fox covering up more than just the murder of democracy? Will an army of lawyers show up? Will everyone involved come out looking like an even bigger asshole? The answer to all these questions is a big, juicy yes. The First Lady has been trying to get Joe Biden to eat healthier. Hey, here's a fun idea. What if Jill Biden didn't have to be the president's fucking mommy? What if the leader of the free world could put on his big boy pants, since he's, 80 years old, and eat some broccoli for fuck's sake? The mass shooting at a mall in Allen, Texas has reignited the gun debate. Well, can you reignite something if it's always on fire? I mean, there have been 208 mass shootings this year in only 132 days, so we're getting close to 2 mass shootings per day. Gosh, we better stock up on thoughts and prayers. Governor Greg Abbott gave an interview where he had lots of helpful things to say.
People want a quick solution.
Correct. Generally, when people are being shot at, they'd like it to stop as quickly as possible.
Why did the government do this?
The government didn't do this. A crazy Nazi did this. And he didn't get that Nazi shit from watching MSNBC.
And we got to find a way in this country where we can once again reunite Americans and come together as one big family.
And the best way to do that is by working together to end drag queens.
The long-term solution here is to address the mental health issue.
Now, a lot of Republicans have been talking about mental health around mass shootings lately. And you know what? I agree that this is a mental health issue as well as a gun issue, and we should take steps on both. But if you want to start with mental health, that's fine. Let's take a look at the Republican plan to improve mental health in this country so that there are fewer mass shootings. Let's see here. GOP plan for improving mental health. I am not seeing it in here. Austin, do you maybe have it?
Well, found some more classified documents, but still no Republican solution to the mental health crisis.
Jen, what about you? Have you seen it?
Nope, not here either.
Okay, just keep looking. Austin, any luck yet?
Might be in there.
Ooh, good idea. I bet it's there. Okay, you keep looking. I'm going to look around here too. Wait. Did you find it, Austin?
Okay, I checked all over the state capitol. I've banged on doors. I've asked a lot of questions. And so far, mostly I'm just being kicked out and asked never to come back. Pretty much what I expected, and I need to go quickly by.
I mean, it's got to be around here somewhere. Jen, have you found it yet?
Nope, not in there. Nope. Well, darn it, Andrea, it's not anywhere. Jeremy, do you see it anywhere?
I'm not even real sure what I'm looking for.
It's the mental health plan from the GOP.
Oh, they actually have one of those?
Jeremy, of course they have a plan. It's a really good one, too. Just wish I could remember what was in it. Austin, you having any luck over there?
Okay. I checked the bottom of the bottle, and it wasn't there. It seemed like a good guess, though. I'm going to check again.
Oh, great. Austin's drunk. Again. Okay, let's get Austin some coffee, and then we're going to clear our schedule for the next several days and keep hunting till we find it. I mean, they wouldn't keep talking about improving mental health if they didn't have a plan, right? Right? Monday was the start of National Teacher Appreciation Week, where we give teachers Starbucks gift cards instead of decent pay or working conditions. Ooh, maybe we can give them some guns too. And then, thoughts and prayers shortly after that. Stewart Rhodes has giant balls. His balls are so big that he needs special pants just to hold them. You know what Stewie did this week? He asked for his time serving as the leader of the Oath Keepers to count towards his 25-year sentence because it was a volunteer organization. The absolute stones on this fella. Orchestrating a riot isn't the same as manning a soup kitchen, bro. Like, who is this guy's lawyer? Your Honor, some might say that my client was the ringleader of this bank robbery. But you know what I think he is? I think he is a facilitator, a communicator, someone who knows how to bring others together around a common goal. You know what he is? A mentor. Motion to dismiss. Denied? Yeah, all right, worth a shot. Texas House Representative Bryan Slaton, a Republican who was outraged over the, quote, grooming and sexualization of our children, resigned this week after it was discovered that the married 45-year-old got his 19-year-old intern drunk and took her virginity. Bryan, this is your lucky week because the 2024 Republican presidential race desperately needs some fresh meat. And now you've got the holy trinity of resumes. Formerly a pastor? Check. Formerly an elected official? Check. Sexual scandal involving cheating on your wife? Big check. Could you improve that resume? Sure. What about some misogynist rants or some photos with some white nationalists? Or you could just shoot some big-ass guns on TikTok. You have a very bright future, according to roughly 25% of the voting public. King Charles's coronation was last weekend, and we've got a quick recap from our podcast. So Matt, I know you guys had a big weekend in the UK. You had this delightfully expensive coronation, and I'm dying to hear if anyone was accidentally beamed in the head by the talking stick of inevitability or whatever.
No, but there has been a lot of talk about one Penny Mordaunt, who is, bear with me here, the leader of the House of Commons. That's not the bit you've got to bear with me about, but she received a lot of accolades due to her non-ministerial role of presenting the dual sword of offering in a ceremonial role as Lord President of the Privy Council and bearer of the sword of state. Basically, she had to stand for a long time, about 2 hours, with a heavy sword. I mean, it weighs over 3.5 kilograms, and it's got to be kept at right angles away from the body. It's very impressive. So much so that quite a few conservative thinkers and MPs have suggested that, based on that, she would make a good prime minister. And I bet you thought picking a leader based on their ability to pull a sword out of a stone was just a myth.
All right, so there is a lot to unpack there. First, can we just have a quick giggle about the jeweled sword of offering? What does one do with the jeweled sword of offering, Matt, besides make their personal trainer very proud?
Oh, genuinely, and I looked this up, genuinely, after 2 hours, they offer it to the Archbishop of Canterbury, who kind of picks it up and puts it over somewhere. Let's be honest, you could easily just say, that's fine, just put it over there. Honestly, I've got this orb of magnificence, I've got the glove of impartiality, I've got the helmet of looking forward, all that sort of thing. I've got the whole bunch of swords going out the door. You can just put that over there, for goodness sake. But it's a sword of offering. I know it's a sword of offering. Yes. Here we go.
I can't tell if you're joking about those things or if those are real items.
I'm not even sure anymore.
To hear the full episode, check out A Very Special Relationship, now playing on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Miller High Life is spicing things up with a new partnership with chocolatier Philip Ashley that mixes beer and chocolate. Reach for comment, the president of Anheuser-Busch said, "For the love of God, man, do not try anything new. Don't do it. Not ever." A man was recaptured after escaping from prison when he pulled the fire alarm on a nearby college campus. Hey, buddy, have you heard of this thing called a low profile? It's like, if you just escaped from prison, you would be quiet and not draw attention to yourself. But you did the opposite of that. You did kind of like a real high profile, you know? Just something for you to keep in mind for the next time you tunnel out of here, okay? And finally tonight, a hotel manager was arrested after sneaking into a guest's room and sucking on his toes while he was sleeping. Oh, No, guys, that's just part of Marriott's toe rejuvenation package, available to members of the Bonvoy Rewards program. Some restrictions may apply. That wraps up this week's news report. Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, I just checked every porn site I know of, and some I just found out about. And wow. I found definitely some solutions to some problems, but not the mental health crisis problem.
Can't get it open. That's not gonna work.
Alright, look, I've looked all over. I've checked every porn site I could think of. I went down every rabbit hole on every right-wing website, including Fox News, which was gross. And I'm beginning to think that maybe there isn't a great Republican plan for mental health. And I'm starting to also think that maybe this is the kind of problem we need to start, I don't know, shooting our way out of. I think I read too much on the Fox News site.